Good morning, everyone. This is the first video on this channel, and I'm going to take you to the journey of learning programming languages. Now, this is for all the students who are in class 10th, or you can say grade 5, grade 6, because there are many different languages taught in the schools. So, I'll try to cover up all the languages, hopefully. The very common language that we all study, and the students who are going to give their examination of ICSE and ISC, they have got Java as their subject. So I'm going to start with the same language, that is Java, and in this video I'll try to keep everything a little light. So I'm going to start with the two terms that are very important for those who are studying Java. So the terms are classes and objects. I have tried my best to explain these two terms in the simplest of language so that you can get an understanding of these two terms and move forward in your journey. So let's get started, and the first term that I'm going to explain is classes. Now, what is class? According to the definition, class is a collection of similar kinds of objects. Now, before learning the class, we should first move to objects, right? Because this definition contains something that we do not know. So, I am going to take you to the term that is object. Now, according to the definition, object is anything that exists in this world. In short, we call it as the real world entity that has identity or state and behavior. For example, if we say that a laptop, that's an object, scooter, that's an object, a kid is an object, a man is an object, mango is an object. So these things exist in this real world and we can call them as objects. Now in the definition, there was one thing, that is identity. Let's see what does identity means. So identity can also be known by the word state. Like a person has its name, every object that exists in this world has a unique name. For example, a mango, or you can say an object which is yellow in color and is presented on the screen, is named as mango. So this fruit or this object has its own identity that makes this object, or you can say this item, as an object. Not only this, but there's a state of this object. That means the feature or the physicality of this object. Like mango is yellow in color, it has its own shape, it has its own taste. So these are the states of mango, or you can say mangoes as whole. Similarly, we'll come to the next point that is a part of an object, which is its behavior. Now behavior means how the processes are being made to create this object. So mangoes are actually grown naturally. So we'll say how it has been grown, how it is being picked by the farmers, right? So any process or any method related to that object constitutes its behavior. Now we'll take another example, which is let's say a kid is an object. Now kid has its own identity. It will have its own name and it will have its own state, that is its physical features, like the complexion of the skin, hair type, there are two eyes, there are teeth, there are legs. These all together makes the identity of a kid. Now similarly, we'll come to the next term, which is behavior. How the kid has been grown up, how the kid eats, what are the processes involved, these all makes the behavior of the kid. So all in all, a kid constitutes identity and behavior, and it exists in the real world, so this can be considered as object. Now coming back to the classes. Class is a collection of similar kinds of objects. Now, according to the identity, there are many objects that share the same identity. For example, I have given the example of mango as an object. So it has taste, color, shapes, it is grown on the tree. So all these characteristics can be found in some other kinds of objects as well. For example, this can be found in bananas, pineapples, strawberries. So they all together refer, or you can say they all together constitute a group, and this group, where all the similar kinds of objects belong to, is termed as a class. And with reference to the objects I have given, they all belong to a certain class called fruits. There's one point that one should remember. These classes are termed as blueprint of the object. You can say these classes are the examples or the models of objects. And objects in return are known as the instances of these classes. One more term is more often used in place of classes, that is classes can also be written as or known as the factory of objects.